Morning. Well, no, actually, it's not morning. It's about 11 o'clock. So, yeah, morning-ish, but not in the truest sense of the word. Morning coming up to afternoon. Hope you're doing really well. Today, I'm literally walking parallel to a Neolithic ditch in which it encompasses a church. So that can only mean one thing. We're at Knowlton Church. Enjoy your history lesson, and I'll see you on the other side. You're going to love this one. See ya. Situated on the eastern end of Dorset lies one of the rarest religious sites we have in the country, that of the ruins of Knowlton Church. But this is no ordinary church, because what makes this place unique is that the earthworks in which this ruin is placed is one of 3 henges known as the Knowlton Circles. With this henge, aptly named Church Henge, it's when you look above that you can see the others as now ghostly imprints in the ground. The henges are said to have been Neolithic in date, and with that it's reckoned that the eastern entrance would have been original, but the western entrance could have dated later. So in regards of the church, it's said to have been dated to the 12th century, and as with most churches it had seen many changes in its life until its end in around 1550. However, lack of use led to calls to demolish it in 1659. But then in the 18th century it had a small rebuild, but towards the end of the century became abandoned for the final time. With all this said, to see a former pagan site so obviously converted into a Christian one may not be that uncommon, but to see one on this scale leaves us with more questions than answers, and on a personal note, one that only adds to my own historical love and knowledge of the Neolithic and pagan culture. So with the site Grade 2 listed and being maintained by English Heritage, I can safely say that this site will be one that the channel will be coming back to, so stay tuned. Welcome back. I'm still walking around the Neolithic ditch. It's amazing really, isn't it, when you sort of feel like you have to come to certain places just to feel an energy. And what's really unique about this obviously is the fact that it's got a unique energy about it, but not only that, that it encompasses 2 significant phases of history, both potentially religious, both potentially ceremonial, if you want to argue that fact. And it is a strangely beautiful day today, although very overcast. And it's also very busy. But look over there. It's nice to know that the landscape hasn't changed much, and actually the fact that there is a lot of farms here, though the only exception to that is you'll hear a distant rumble in the background, which is on the main road, which sort of seems to sort of change that atmosphere slightly. But it's crazy because you almost think to yourself you're in a sort of castle because of the ditch, because of the moated sort of subject of the matter, if that makes sense, although it's not moated. You know what I'm trying to get at. The point of it is a ditch. It's crazy, isn't it? Oh, I've made a friend. Hello. Hello, you. So, there seems to be a sort of wishing tree here. Oh wow, look at that. Oh wow. Wow. Use this and it will change things. Wow, isn't that beautiful? Oh, that's so beautiful. Reminds me of Trosley Cauldron Barrow. definitely does have a sort of form of serenity about the place. Really does. It's, in the irony is, it's quite busy with people, but there's still this peacefulness about it, and it really sort of encapsulates that. And it's one of these places I've had on my bucket list for a long time to sort of explore, because of, like I said, the different phases in which this exists. And I was literally, I think I was like the last car that could get a space on the sort of side of the road. It's not really a car park, it's sort of just a lay-by bit, if that makes sense. But as you walk out, wow, look at that. Brilliant, isn't it? Right, so we're inside. I say we're inside, it's a ruin, so it's quite open. But oh, it's just beautiful. I said, except for the noise of the traffic. It's lovely. Look at that. Simply stunning, really. I suppose obviously on this channel we've seen plenty of church ruins, and what I always sort of make the argument about is that they're never boring, because they're all different and they're all unique and they all have a different feel to them. And I suppose that that's what makes it unique. And I suppose if you go to lots of different church ruins, you can pretty much sort of play a game of spot the difference. You know what I mean by that? But this one is extremely special. I mean, just having a look at that, you can see they've put some modern brick to obviously stop that from collapsing, that arch. Or they assumed that it might do, and maybe they just reinforced it in there. But isn't this just beautiful? The colours of the bricks. I always say about the colours of the bricks. So special to look at when you're here. And the fact that you are surrounded by this earthwork is so special. You know, it must have been, I mean, it's a unique experience coming here now, even as a ruin, but you can imagine if you were here for religious purposes. The special nature of that is incredible. Really is. See, when you look at this bit of masonry, you think how long that's been there for. And the fact that if you put your fingers across it and you touch it, you can still feel the moulding in it. It's beautiful. How many people have probably touched that? How much of the weather and erosion has played a part in this is, it's just spectacular, it really is. Forgot to mention, when I was driving up, it's quite undulating, sort of up and down, and you could see the tower from quite a distance away. But funny enough, the closer you get to it, it disappears because of the ditch. It's that moment when you see these embedded like prints where people have been walking on certain parts of it. Readers just take your breath away, the fact of all these travellers who have come here to explore, to find their peace or whatever they do, or just to even explore it, really. Makes it so special. It's those sort of colours of the flint that give it a real unique sort of quality to it. The fact that it has been so weathered down. I apologise if the wind's coming out, by the way. Well, we've walked a bit around the mound. We've obviously taken a look in. There's not much here, but that's not the point. The point is that what is left is always going to be a beautiful reminder for people, and I thoroughly recommend, if you are in this part of the country, that you should totally check this place out. There is a beautiful serenity about it. And there really is. It hits you the moment you walk through those gates. You know, and the beautiful thing about it is it is a scheduled ancient monument. So the fact of the matter is, this will be here for a long, long time. Probably after I'm gone, it will still be here, and it will be a token reminder of two generations, two separate sort of timeline periods, putting their own stamp on it, and now us as modern day doing our own thing here by documenting it, doing it in a different way, you know, coming here and appreciating it in a totally different and unique way. And that's worth thinking about, isn't it? Every time we film these places, every time we explore them. So worth it coming here, really was. Won't forget this one in a hurry. Well, so I make my way out of the church, the ruined church. Thank you so much for coming along with me. Hopefully you really enjoyed it. This brief explore, really. There's not much to it. It's really the history that it contains. It's probably more interesting in the actual, you know, you really have to sort of like look at this place and understand what it was about, its context, and then when you come here it adds a layer, rather than, I think, doing it the other way around. If you came here and then you started doing research, it sort of just, I suppose, it defeats the object. You want to kind of be more aware of it. The only other thing that I will say is, this is the only information board that you can get. However, there is plenty of information online, or you can just watch my video again. But like I said, this is just a little information board. Hopefully I've given you more information, and that's the most important thing, surely. Well, in the immortal words of Phoenix history, thank you so much for coming along with me. Hopefully you had a really nice time. Stay safe no matter what you're doing, and I'll see you all very soon. Goodbye for now. Take care. Kapow.